just so I can kind of help people and guide people into understanding the toxins in mattresses, do we have like a category of like, hey, these are the toxins you're going to want to stay away from when you're shopping for a mattress?
So the chemical lists are really long. I'll tell you the consumer product to avoid. So the consumer product to avoid is you avoid polyurethane. Polyurethane being what almost all regular synthetic mattresses on the market are made of. That's a petrochemical foam. In a mattress itself, on the surface levels, their densities are higher. So their concentration and toxin load is that much stronger. And it's off-gassing that much more. So the polyurethane would be the primary culprit for releasing the toxins. Immediately after that are the FR barriers and the FR chemicals that are added in, typically either to the foam itself or to the cover. So the textiles become a fire barrier, and they have chemical treatments for that as well. Typically, you'll have polyester, the polyester shell with fire barrier liquids in it, and basically beneath that is the polyurethane. That is your primary products to avoid. So you want to transition from going from polyester to an organic cotton. You want to not put in any of you want to make sure there's that beautiful lofty pillow type look that you get on a mattress that looks so nice. Well, they put that in for softening, because if you don't have the optimal materials underneath, they need to add the cushioning on top. But that cushioning is fiber batting. That fiber batting becomes a nesting ground for allergens. Those are chemically treated, which adds more toxic load to your mattress. So, when there's a consequence to everything you're putting in there. So right now, if you go from top to bottom, you've got your fabric laced with FR chemicals. You got your fiber, which is now laced with cleaning detergents and chemicals to keep them clean. Then you've got your polyurethane underneath. And then from an entry level, you've got your spring case underneath, which typically is inert. So it's whether you have a organic or non-organic product, a spring doesn't affect any of the toxic load. However, the springs are not as durable, do not give the same support, but ultimately become kind of like disruptors with EMFs, which is a whole other topic as well. So ultimately, you want to go with a full organic foam product. At Essentia, that's all we've ever focused on, has been working the formulas of latex to make them behave as we need for eliminating motion transfer, pressure redistribution. All those things can be handled in proper foam formulation. Again, organic foam formulation, and avoiding those main materials is what you need to do.
Is it a situation like, I know when I go to my farmer's market and I ask them, have you sprayed your chemicals on the food? And are you certified organic? Many of them will say, well, we are organic, but we just didn't go through the process to become certified organic. When I walk into a mattress store, is there regulation around what's organic and what's not? Or can I just assume if they say it's organic that they mean it?
So no, they've got to be certified Galls and Gotts organic. So the brand that you're buying, so if you're buying mattress A, the certification needs to be in the name of that brand. The reason I'm saying that, so you've got Galls and Gotts certifications, is there's so much fake greenwashing going on. So what many retailers will do, and some brands will do, they'll piggyback on one of their suppliers' certifications. So for example, if they were buying, and we don't sell to any of those people, so that's not an issue with us, but technically if someone was buying one layer of foam from us, and they would then say that it's certified Galls and Gotts organic, as you can see by Essentia certifications. But if they've added that, if they've encased that in a polyester, fiber-filled, FR-treated, and below our foam, maybe put in a polyurethane foam for cost, bringing down costs, they can bury that organic product to being something that's really non-significant. In fact, when I first developed the foam, my first customers, I never thought I'd have a direct-to-consumer brand. My focus was really just developing the material. And my first natural instinct was to sell this to the big manufacturers. And they initially started buying it. But what they wanted quarter-inch and half-inch slivers of our product. They wanted it for marketing purposes. So they would glue it onto their polyurethane and wrap it up, and they would say that it had galls and GOTS. Well, actually, that was we were pre-galls and GOTS. That was at the time that we were making this organic foam, but we were not certified at the time before I went to the direct-to-consumer. I've noticed in my own experience, there was a point where I would say, I don't need to be certified. I know what goes in it, and we know we're all organic. But it's not as simple as that, because I can be getting cheated by my supply chain. So I realized that when I became certified, my suppliers needed to be certified as well. So that forced them to make sure that they weren't using pesticides, and they had to follow the proper protocols, and the custody of the product from tapping the trees all the way to when it's out our doors has been fully audited, verified, audited, and vetted all the way through. So that kept my suppliers honest, because I saw inconsistencies before we were certified. And so that made a difference. So again, that gave me, as a manufacturer, who I really should have full control of everything I'm putting in it. But if I don't see all the farms internationally that have really harvested this fluid for us, unless we have the auditors on site and making sure that those fields are pesticide free, that the managing of the products are to standards. There's other things like there's no child labor and so many other things that come with the certification. But ultimately, the primary thing is making sure that it's a toxin-free, certified organic product. If I had my doubts as a manufacturer, consumer should have their doubts if they're not buying it. If the brand and the certification don't match, there's an issue there.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure people can go in and navigate a salesperson who might try to steer you and say, these are all organic. What I'm hearing and what you said is maybe the next question, if you don't see certified organic on it, is to ask what chemicals are in the fabrics of the mattress. Are the mattress companies, do they have to divulge that? Do they have to tell you?
They do not. No, there's no.
I thought you were going to say that.
So that's why your only true test is understanding the certifications that are on there, and then the two that lead in this space is GALS for the which is Global Organic Latex certification, and GOTS, which is Global Organic Textile certification. So most mattresses will only have GOTS. And the reason they'll only have GOTS is because they'll put an organic fabric on the top, but everything within the core of the mattress is not organic. So they get the right to say that it's a GOTS certified organic cover. However, that doesn't tell you that the fiber batting, I've seen so many manufacturers that have a GOTS certified organic shell, and then it's quilted in polyester. And then they've got polyurethane on the inside and springs and all that. So you really need to take the time to prioritize. If you're going to prioritize sleep, prioritize understanding the components that are in the mattress that you're considering, from the shell to the fiber filling to the core itself.